everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, we do a lot of product reviews. We talk about drugstore makeup, some high-end, lots of different things, favorites videos, book talks, lots of stuff. So if you like any of that, we'd love if you would subscribe before you leave. Today I'm reviewing a product I bought about, I don't know, a month ago, and I'm, spoiler alert, obsessed with it, but I want to talk all the details. It's the Beauty Pie Awesome Bronze Gorgeous Sunkissed Bronzing Cream. I have the shade Goldilocks, so let's get into it. Okay, I'm going to read how the brand describes it on their website. So there's 4 shades, which is pretty good for a cream bronzer. It does seem to go from light, but this is the second lightest color, I think, and then pretty deep. So I think there's a good shade range. And it says a dreamy, creamy bronzer for an instant touch of sun-kissed color. The ultimate soft matte cream bronzer. The silky cream to powder texture melts effortlessly into skin, combining the warmth of a bronzer with the comfort of a cream. Non-greasy and utterly mistake-proof, from Italy. Okay, so this is interesting to me that this is how they describe it, because I actually thought that it was going to be a cream to powder texture, because when you first touch it, it's super, super creamy and it feels thin, which is my favorite kind. Sometimes when, this is called a hot pour, when the product is like batched and heated and then poured directly into the component, the jar. And sometimes I feel like hot pours can be like a thicker formula, and this one is really, really thin, which I love. And when I first spread it out on my hand when I was swatching it, I was like, oh yeah, it does kind of like dry down to a matte finish. But as I've used this more and more, I actually think like the texture, it's interesting. The texture feels pretty matte or like natural, like it doesn't feel really dewy, but it leaves a sheen. Like there must be some ingredient in here that's leaving like a bit of a sheen on the skin. And at first I was like, what's going on? But now I love that. I actually think that the combination of it being so thin and having that like kind of sheer to light coverage color with the little bit of a sheen it leaves, I have it on right now, and I feel like it's just my perfect summer bronzer because it really is so easy and effortless looking. On the back of here it says, for an effortless, supernatural sun-kissed look, and that's exactly what I think it is. I think that this is super easy to use because it isn't really high opacity, meaning it doesn't lay down a ton of color, where some bronzers, you know, you put it on, you're like, wow, that's so pigmented, you have to blend it out and blend it out. This is, I wouldn't call it sheer, but I would call it light coverage. Like it's not one of those bronzers that has a ton of color. And so again, I really love that for the summertime, because you don't look like you have like heavy products on your face. It just looks like a nice veil of color. And like I said, at first I was really taken aback by the sheen I think it seems to leave, but now I really like it. I think it complements dewy skin in the summertime. It's just so easy and so nice. I'm gonna insert me applying it, and you'll see that it really does look pretty pigmented when I put it on, and this is dark in the pan. Like it looks darker or too dark for my skin, but then when it blends out, I think it's a perfect color. But when I blend it out, it just blends so effortlessly. Like you could, I feel like you could underpaint with this and apply foundation on top and get like an even more natural, you know, appearance. But I find that going on top of foundation, it just looks so effortless, and just like the sun actually has kissed your skin. And I show here in the demo on my cheeks, on my forehead, on my nose, on my eyes, and no matter where I apply it, it just looks natural and so pretty. And like I said, just like a light veil of color. Most cream bronzers are like, I don't even know, 5 to 10 grams. Some are even less than 5, and you know, those you still go through pretty slowly, but 30 grams, like this will last you forever. And if you're a Beauty Pie member, it's $19. If you're not a member, it's $50. And we also have a code to save with Beauty Pie. I'll leave that down below. We are obviously members, but $19 for 30 grams is a literal steal. But I also don't know how I would ever go through all this, but I might, because I love it so much. I knew I was going to like it when I saw it was made in Italy, because I love cream products made in Italy typically, and I will say Italian formulas are traditionally more expensive, and just from a logistics standpoint, well, I guess Beauty Pie isn't based in the US, so maybe for them it's not, but if you're a US based brand, logistically speaking, like everything costs more to ship back and forth to Italy. So that, you know, usually warrants a higher price point, but in this case they really kept the price really fair, I think. My only complaint with this, and I don't know if this is just my skin, but I will say that if I've gone a little bit without exfoliating and I have like some dry patches on my cheeks, I notice that the product, because it is so thin and has that sort of like slippy silicone texture, it doesn't stick down into some of those dry areas, and so it can look a tad patchy. And normally if I say that, I would be like, oh, I have cream bronzers that I like more, but I really love this. Like, this has become my favorite, and I can, well, I love the Rare Beauty one too, but this and that one are my favorites. But I feel like I can look past it because I just love the look it gives me so much, and I also think I love this color. At first when I saw it, it looked really dark, and like I said, I didn't want it to look too orange either, and so when I got this and used it, I was just so pleasantly surprised. I think that it's a neutral tone and it leans slightly warm, so that's perfect for me for a summer bronzer. It's not neutral that I really look for in the winter time, like neutral cool. The neutral warm is absolutely perfect for me. I love this color. It's also fragrance free. I thought it was going to have fragrance. It does not, so that's amazing. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you've tried this, let me know your thoughts down below. I feel like I've heard no one talk about it, and I love it so much, and I want like other people to experience it, so let me know your thoughts.